Thank you so very much. Okay, everyone, let's talk about how we can rescue your PMO and do so quickly. We're going to get your PMO back on track so that you can deliver the impact that you're meant to make. And we'll talk a little bit about what that impact means today. So before we go any further, I want to make sure that you have access to a resource that will help you as you're going through this presentation. And you can go to pmostrategies.com/rescue and download my workbook that accompanies this training so that you can take your own notes and jot down your own ideas as you're listening to this training and walk away with a completed workbook that you can use to guide your journey and your next steps. So just go to pmostrategies.com/rescue. It will be in the bottom corner of the next several slides in case it takes you a minute to get in front of the computer. And once you do so, then we can proceed with talking about what you're going to get out of this training, which is I'm going to show you how to determine if your PMO needs a course correction and the steps to take to get your PMO back on track quickly. Now, this is not going to be a quick fix that'll eventually fall apart, using bubble gum and Band-Aids and, duct tape to glue it all together. These are actually the kinds of changes that you can make that are sustainable. As I mentioned, I was inside organizations in the role of PMO leader for a very long time, and I learned the hard way, frankly. I learned by making a lot of mistakes and learning what worked and learning what didn't. And when I started sharing what now is my common practice, I realized that there's a lot of people out there that are still struggling with those same gotchas that lead to the kind of numbers. I'm sure you've seen them or heard, that 50% or more PMOs fail. PMI releases Pulse of the Profession studies that talk all about the failure rates of PMOs and why PMOs are failing. And there's tons of different reasons out there. But I'll let you in on a little secret. A lot of it really just has to do with the fact that we're looking at it through the wrong lens, and we're approaching our PMOs in a way that prevents them from being successful right up front. So we're going to talk about what we need to do to get your PMO back on track quickly with some sustainable changes. You will have to do some work, but as I heard very recently at a conference that really hit me pretty hard was that hard work is the price of admission to a life that is not ordinary. And that hit me so hard because I realized the things that I really valued, the things that really made a difference in my life, and whether it was removing frustrations and headaches and barriers like I did for myself and that I do for my students now, or just really accomplishing something that really made an impact in others' lives. So that stuff takes work, and we need to not be afraid of that work. But wouldn't it be great if we knew the things that we were doing were really going to make a difference? And that's what I'm sharing with you, is the things that I know for a fact will make a big difference for you. So grab that worksheet, that workbook, download it, follow along, take some notes, and use that as a way for you to start that journey and know the work you have in front of you. But a lot of these things are not going to take a long time. We just have to look differently at the work we're doing and where we're focusing our energy. So let's start digging into it. Now, once you've downloaded that worksheet, I want you to do yourself a favor and turn off all your distractions. Because if you want to get the outcomes, and we'll talk a lot about outcomes today, that you want to achieve, which is to determine if your PMO needs to get back on track, get it back on track, and have a framework that you can follow to do so, you're going to have to pay attention, because I'm going to go quickly through these so that I can give you as much value and as much content as possible in the time we have together. And I am more than happy to share with you other resources. You definitely want to go check out the podcast after this training, but download the workbook, follow along, and then turn your phone over, definitely turn off your email, biggest distractor ever in the world, and spend this time with me, and I promise you won't regret it. Okay, so when you see this picture, if this all resonates with you, you're in the right place. If you feel like you're doing everything that you could possibly be doing to get your PMO on track, and you're still feeling run down, like you've tried a lot of different things and it's just not working, you're absolutely in the right place. If you feel stressed, I mean, these images, when I pulled these images in to share with you, these resonated so deeply with me in the feelings that I felt when I was inside organizations as a PMO leader and was frustrated that I just couldn't quite get it right. But don't worry, I did figure it out, and those are the things I'll share with you. But I remember feeling super stressed because there was just not enough time, and people were pulling me in different directions. I had so many students fill out a survey for me recently, all PMO leaders, and they said, I just don't even have enough time. And you know what? A lot of things they didn't have time for were things like this training and things that would really help them solve the pain points, and they just weren't making time for that. So pat yourself on the back that you're here investing your time and energy and getting to a solution, getting to an outcome that will truly help you look differently at what you're doing with your PMO and get you going in the right direction, remove that frustration, and get rid of those headaches. So I remember people pulling me in totally different directions, telling me that I had to have all these things, that I need to deliver so much value for the PMO, and you might be hearing some of those things too, and also being told at the same time, by the way, I'm not going to give you any resources or funding to do it. And it's not going to, you're hearing that you're not going to get the attention that you need for your PMO, or you might even be worried now that budget season might be coming around for you, that you're not sure if your PMO is actually going to be able to show a return on investment quickly enough to, make it through the next budget cycle. If you're feeling that, don't worry, you're in the right place. Now, I know this was a big one for me. I became a mother while I was inside organizations as a PMO leader. I was constantly struggling to find that balance between spending the time doing all the investment I need to do to build and run PMOs, and then the pull to want to spend time with my family and my friends, or, actually get some sleep at night. Maybe even have a personal life and still be there to support and grow the PMO in my organization the way I knew it needed to be. I needed to support the project managers that were trying to deliver on projects. I needed to support the executives that were trying to move the business forward. And it was a constant struggle of me always wanting to do more and give more because, frankly, we're givers, right? PMO leaders, you've got to want to help people just be in this role for more than 5 minutes, right? Because it's a hard job. And we are satisfied when we know we've made an impact, when we know that we've helped people accomplish their goals. And so there's this constant struggle of wanting to help people and do more and, really build out a PMO that's going to be successful. And at the same time, maybe get some sleep at night and take care of our most important priorities, which frankly aren't the PMO, the, personal life and our health and our families. So we're going to talk a lot about where we should be spending our energy and what we need to do to make sure that we, can get out of this feeling of overwhelmed, because I'm going to give you some things that are going to focus your energy on the most important ways to shift the entire trajectory of your PMO quickly. And I certainly know that this was the case for me. Many times in organizations when I was in the role of PMO leader, I felt very unsupported. There was always a lot of pressure that we had to deliver, and we had to deliver quickly, and we weren't even really sure many times exactly where we should focus our energy and what was the most important thing for us to be working on. And so there was a lot of, you must do this, you must deliver, but not a lot of support in resources, funding, tools we wanted to bring in. We constantly had this battle, this struggle of knowing that we needed to do certain things and feeling like we had to make a whole federal case anytime we wanted to add some resources or support to get things done. We wanted to add, we wanted access to people, to information, and there was not a lot of engagement from our stakeholders. So it felt pretty lonely. And many times a lot of PMO leaders, whether you're a PMO of one or even a small team, you still are often the only PMO leader in your organization. And that's what I find with a lot of my students. Not all of them. Some of my students have big PMO teams and PMOs inside of PMOs and all that kind of stuff. But others are PMO leaders of one. And we spend a lot of time in our community in my training program talking about how nice it is to have our peers to talk to and to hear ideas and all that, because it can be a very lonely world inside your organization. So we also are, thinking, okay, fine. So all of this is great. Now you've told me how terrible I feel, but now what? So it's ready. I'm sure you're feeling like it's time for change.
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.